What's going on, guys? It's Hueyy. We're out here back in another spot, and real quick, just wanted to give a rundown of some new products that we just got in. KastKing's newest lineup, the Defender series. KastKing Defender is nice and affordable. Great looking rod and reel right there. And then make a bait casting rod and spinning version of this. Has nice EVA foam handles right there. And as well as the grip itself. 10-20 pound line weight, 1/2 ounce to 4 ounce medium heavy. And this guy does come with 2 different tips just in case one breaks. So be sure to take a look on KastKing's website to make sure that you can grab yourself one of these great little combos for about $100. $100 if you use your coupon code. But the main reason for us coming out today is that, we've been getting a lot of questions as far as how to cast these guys. And typically, baitcasters are meant for freshwater fishing. So, a lot of people ask, how do we use them out here? Well, got to make sure you take care of them, of course. So after every session, you want to clean them off and rinse them off as best as you can. Just make sure all the moving parts get rinsed off, and then give them a little movement as well just after you clean them to make sure they stay nice and clean the whole time. All right, so kind of want to go over how to cast these guys. Got to know what you're working with, right? So obviously, got the handle here. That's what you're going to be using. Real efficient. That's dumb. See this little star drive right there? That is going to be your drag setting. So loosen it. It's going to be a lot easier for line to be pulled off the spool. Tighten it. Makes it a lot harder for line to come off the spool. And you don't want it to be completely tightened down, because if it's too tight, there's too much tension on the fish. Sometimes they'll pop off the knots, snap the line. And a lot of the time you want to make sure that you got a little bit of give, right? You want to make sure the fish can swim away a little bit, but make sure it's not too loose, because if it's too loose, then you're just gonna let the fish run away. Kind of on the go, what you want to do is, if you feel it's fighting and you feel like the fish isn't pulling line and it's getting you're feeling the tension in the rod, loosen up the star drag, let the fish take some line a little bit here and there, and kind of take the fight to the fish. And if it's obviously too loose and the fish keeps pulling line, tighten up that star drag a little bit just so you can pull that fish in. These 2 main adjusters, and these are really 2 you want to really focus on. You got this main adjuster, and I would say there's the adjuster on this side is going to be more for fine tuning, and this is going to be your broad tuning. When you get a baitcaster, typically it's going to be 100% loose. And if you just take the spool like this and move it side to side, if you feel that movement side to side, those brakes aren't working at all. Because this side, what happens is that these two sets of brakes pinch against each other. One side being magnetic and one side being more pressure oriented, and the pressure helps slow down the spool so that if you're casting a heavy weight or heavy lure, the spool doesn't overspin, causing you to what a lot of people run into, which is a bird's nest. So what I like to do is I like to tighten this main knob until I feel like there's no side to side movement first. Once I feel like there's no side-to-side movement, I maybe make a hair of a turn past that. And then I set the magnetic braking or whatever specialized braking system to the max it can go. All right, it's on 10. Now, how do we cast a baitcaster? The best way I would explain it is that it's almost like when you're braking and when you're using your thumb to thumb brake, which a lot of people explain but don't really put into practice. It's like feathering the brakes on your car or bike. You don't want to slam on the brakes on your bike because you're going to fly forward. You don't want to slam on the brakes in the car. So here, letting it drop and then slowly applying pressure just until you start feeling the line in your thumb, and slowly slows down to a complete stop. And what you want to do is you want to use that towards the end of your cast. So when you are casting this, the real sequence of things is that you're going to press the thumb bar until it clicks, and now that means the spool is spinning freely, right? And you want to depress it, use that thumb to hold onto the line, and you're going to cast it, and right before the lure hits the water, you start slowing down. You don't want to slow down too early, you don't want to slow down too late. Slow down too early, the lure is obviously not going to fly as far as you want it to. Slow down too late, you might run into a bird's nest if your drag is not set correctly. So once again, depress the thumb bar, cast it, and right before it hits the water, slowly start applying pressure to let it to slow down the spool until it's a complete stop, and then you start reeling, which will engage the thumb bar once again. Now, we haven't really done anything as far as the fine tuning. I left it at 10 just to tighten this to the point where it's not moving side to side. So what do we do now? So if you're casting it and you feel like, maybe it feels like the reel is slow, stopping your casting, take it and turn it down, maybe 1 click, 2 clicks, however many you want. The more if you do too many clicks and you cast it and it's not dialed in correctly, you are going to potentially run into a bird's nest. So I took it down 2 clicks to it, casting it. That's pretty good, but for me, I know, and I practice a lot with my braking using my thumb, and so I know I can control it so that I won't have to worry about it over spooling if it were too loose. So I'm probably going to do another 2 or 3 clicks, cast it. Perfect. Now if you cast it and you start seeing the line on your spool raising off the spool, that might tell you it might be a little too loose. So all you got to do is just tighten it up 1 click or more, however many you want to do. The biggest thing you want to practice is definitely your thumb braking when you are casting, so that you can practice that control with your thumb. And just kind of practice those basics. Do a couple little casts on the higher setting where you have a little more braking assistance, and then as you feel more comfortable, you can loosen it up more and start really popping the casts out there. That's a little tutorial. We're going to continue fishing. This is my first day with this rod and reel, and I threw some fluorocoat on there from KastKing as well. So we're going to get some casts out there. I think Jonathan's going to meet us in a little bit, and let's see what we can catch. I think that's him over there. But let's keep casting. Let's catch up with Jonathan. See if there's any fish over here. It's a little cloudy, a little windy, and the water looks a little murky too. But I did see some birds diving down for bait, so there might be potential for some fish surrounding the area. So let's start fishing and see what we can get. One thing I did forget to mention is that over time, especially when they're brand new, the reels are going to slowly work in, like the bearings are slowly starting to break in. So for instance, right now when I cast, sometimes you'll see some line raising off the spool, and that's really meaning that the spool is moving a little faster than how much line can be pulled off with the lure. So you might need to tighten it down a little bit more, and just slowly tailor it to your needs. Right, it is a little windy, it is moving a little fast right now. So what I might do is I might just tighten this more broad adjustment, just a hair. And see how you get the line raise there? Just needs a little bit more. There we go. Now we're working. Another question people end up asking me sometimes is like, how do I know for sure what I'm doing? I'm casting in the water and haven't been able to get any fish. Like, am I doing it right? I think 90% of it's just luck. Being in the right spot where the fish are at moving, especially in the bay. With lakes and rivers, a lot of the fish congregate in the same areas typically. Like, if you find the fish in one spot, they're typically going to be in the same spot a lot of the time. But when it comes to the bay, we always have migrating striper, fish moving around, halibut moving around. And so the fish aren't per se always in one spot. So the best thing I could tell you is just, whenever you're out and about, pop some casts, keep casting, keep retrieving. You might end up finding a little school of striper to run into. I'll make a little fun little session for you. But as far as my technique, I'll normally make casts, pop casts, and I would kind of shape it like a fan. I will when I'm standing on shore facing the water, I'm gonna kind of, as I go, change up the angle of where I'm casting. So I'll cast over here, and kind of fan my casts out to really see where the fish are at, right? Because they might not be in front of you. They might be just a little bit off to the left of you or the right of you. They might be right next to the shoreline. You really don't know, and you gotta find them and find exactly where they're at. And not to mention, you gotta find what depth they're at too. So If I'm holding it super low to the water and kind of cranking slowly, then I'm going to be keeping that lure closer to the bottom, and it's going to be dragging close to the bottom. So you might get you might find a halibut there, but sometimes they don't end up biting there. So might pop a cast somewhere else, and instead hold it up a little higher and keep it reeling at the same speed. And that will elevate the lure just a little bit off the bottom, a little higher, and keeping that presentation nice and slow. You know, a lot of people give up 15, 20 feet from shore. They think, oh, I can reel it in really quick now. But sometimes you fish, and you've seen in my videos, they'll bite right next to you. Finish that retrieve all the way to shore, because you never know where they're gonna hit. And as you cast, you kind of change it up. Cast it out, change it real slow, real low, and real fast, real low. You can change up the speed of your reeling. If you want to, you can start popping little twitches in there. And sometimes that little quick movement might entice a striper to come hit. Well, I'll be darned. Yeah, Jonathan caught one, but he's at the point itself. Oh God. You caught a small one already? Good. Oh, you already caught one? Jeez. No. It is. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, how are you?
Good. All right.
It looks pretty good here.
Yeah, I know this whole corner's been looking good, but
it's not windy down there too.
It's not as windy over here. It's a lot windier. Yeah, I'll be obviously on that side.
I'm gonna fish here for a little, just because I just caught one, but.
Yeah, just keep casting it. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
I'm just gonna keep, because I haven't caught a single thing. I've actually never caught a fish at this spot, so.
Oh, never actually.
Oh man. There we go. There we go, guys. Finally broke this rod in. Tiny guy. There we go. That's something. I'll take it. Oh, really? That might be the same fish. Alright, guys. There we go. First fish on the KastKing Spartacus Defender right there. There we go. There you go. Alright. That's one. Oh, there you go. Right next to the shore.
Same one.
Oh, is it? There we go. A little guy. Well, that's something.
Yeah, they're here.
They're here. They're not big, but they're here. I think that's the biggest thing, is just it's like at least an hour anywhere to any of the surf fishing spots. If it were closer, I'd probably be more willing to go. Oh, I got a halibut on. Little guy. We'll see. Yeah. Tiny guy. There we go. I know, it looks exactly like her. Man. There we go, guys. Look at that. California halibut right there. Really pretty fish. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for today.
Hey guys.
Jonathan's out this again. And you know, we at least caught some fish today.
Yeah,
so
it was a tough day, but at least we got like two fish each.
Yeah, 2 fish each. A halibut and a striper each.
Like a little fish day. So
at least we got something. But really the main thing was I wanted to show you guys how to use a baitcaster, so that for those of you that are curious, you guys kind of go over the tutorial and figure it out, you know, use it so they can learn yourself. But we did work on Spartacus Defender right here, KastKing's new lineup, and it was a great little rod, especially for $100. You go to a big box store, spend $100, you might get something cheap, not really great. But with, you know, KastKing's, with this guy and a lot of other KastKings of more affordable lineups, they actually do feel like you're getting what you pay for. So take a look, check them out, KastKing Spartacus Defender series, and all their affordable setups online. But thank you, Jonathan, for coming out. We'll be seeing Jonathan a lot more this year, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, tight lines.